Our last entry from 2012.
Yeah. Kind of out of nowhere.
21 years after the last entry, this is Silent Night. I know where you have it.
Number 2. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my number 4.
Yeah.
It's not really super fun. It's not, I think it takes itself a little too seriously. It's got a lot I like in it. It's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
I was shocked to be like, I kind of enjoy this. It's not bad. If they had tweaked a few elements, this might be a remake that people gush about.
Yeah.
I don't think it's up. I'm shocked you have it as high as you do.
Yeah.
But I figured that it was going to be your number 2 once you revealed that this was your 3, because you have a tendency to like a lot of the more modern polished.
If they do a good job with it, then
Yeah.
I tend to score it highly. Yeah.
This is a movie, I think part of the problem is this title sucks shit. Because,
Yeah.
but it was a mistake. It was a mistake. Because the series is called Silent Night, Deadly Night, then whatever. And like it or love it, all of the entries before this one use that. Even the ones with the subtitles still keep the Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, The Toy Maker. Just going Silent Night, it's not doing itself any favors. No one knows that this is a remake.
Yeah.
I've never heard
it's part of the rest of the franchise.
That's what I mean.
Right?
I've never heard a single human being reference this fucking film. So the name choice was terrible. It's too generic. You need the Deadly Night, even though I don't think it's a great title either for the franchise. You needed it because Silent Night is so generic. And now, if you try to search this film, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get the new Silent Night film with Joel Kinnaman, that action movie. Right. Oh, and there's other movies called Silent Night. It's a stupid title.
Yeah.
That was a mistake.
You kind of like gave away the one thing that, otherwise why even bother try to connect it, right? Because there's not a whole lot that actually connects it to.
Why not just make a generic like horror Christmas horror film? Yeah, why even bother trying to connect to this franchise, right? So without further ado, let's get into the plot. So it opens with an old-timey Christmas song playing as a man is grooming himself in a dirty mirror before cutting to a woman tied to a mattress on the floor screaming for help. And it's just, it looks like something out of like Saw. It's like this dirty environment, and I'm just like, whoa, okay, we're really going modern here. We're going like gritty reboot. Okay. Visually you immediately go, okay, this is a modern gritty horror film. It doesn't have that 80s, 90s feel to it where they were a little more filmic.
Yeah.
This is like stark realism. It tries to go for more of that look. We then see there's a man, the man who's like grooming himself. He then like assembles a Santa costume in a scene that's like, it's almost like a superhero suit up scene.
Yeah, but
he's like assembling this outfit, and then it's like all like extreme close-ups and everything. We then cut to another victim in the basement. It's a man tied up with Christmas lights, and he begs for mercy, going on about how he didn't know the woman was married, revealing that him and the woman tied up upstairs were actually adulterers.
Yeah.
Ooh, and what does Santa do about naughty adulterers?
Naughty.
Mark? He punishes them. Yeah. So then the killer Santa Claus flips the switch, electrocuting the man in a pretty intense kill scene.
Yep.
It's like, again, pretty brutal and like stark realism before quietly cutting to a title card.
Yep.
Cut to our new protagonist. It is a female deputy waking from a phone call from her boss, played by
Malcolm McDowell.
I need you at the station 1500 hours.
Wait, why? Deputy Jordan's got my shift.
Jordan's MIA.
Wait, what?
No one's seen him since Thursday.
Apparently he's gonzo out of here. Got a whiff of something he couldn't pass up. Meow.
Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah, yet another like once major movie star sort of taking on a role with this franchise. I don't know how they do it, but they keep
I
getting
know how they did it. for this one.
Yeah.
We're going to get to Malcolm.
Okay.
Yeah. I understand what they're doing with Malcolm. It's pretty obvious. Think about when this movie came out.
2012.
2012. What came out before it already?
I have a note that his character is very reminiscent of another character he played. So
From the Halloween,
yeah,
the Rob
it's
Zombie one.
almost exactly the same.
That would be correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So very often actors, once they do a thing well, people go, yeah, do that 10 more times.
Can you do that thing
Yeah.
here
Can you
with
do
us?
that again for our film?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's very much so playing the same character he did in the Rob Zombie ones, which came out only like 4 years before this one. Yeah. Because the first Rob Zombie one's 2007. The second one's 2009. This is 2012.
It was before all this.
Literally, yeah. There's like 3 years before this. So it's like, I totally get how they got Malcolm McDowell. And so Malcolm McDowell calls in the female deputy, Aubrey is her name. Aubrey, played by actress Jamie King.
I don't recognize her for anything, but I'm sure she's got to be.
She's probably got a few small credits.
Yep.
I didn't recognize her for much either. I didn't have anything of note. She's like moping around in bed, and he's basically like, get in here and get your ass to work. Like, there's a town that needs to be protected, and we've got festivities going on. I don't have time for you moping around. And there's something about, I didn't quite catch this, but it's revealed that it's Christmas Eve.
Yep.
And it's her first holiday without her husband who died.
Yeah. Yeah. Her husband, John.
She's grieving.
Yeah.
This is a grieving, she's a widower, I guess is the proper term. Aubrey is staying with her kind and loving parents for the holidays. And they're like the most like picturesque, like sweet,
Yeah.
like parents. The father is like this like bright, cheery man. He's actually like a professional Santa Claus as well. And even like he looks like Santa Claus.
He's just an all-around nice guy, you know.
Yeah. Cut to a cartoonishly bratty kid and her mom.
Yes.
The girl, it's like this bratty girl, and she like walks over to her mom. Her mom has like pills in her hand, and she just like smacks the pills out of her hands. And their mom's like, "Mommy, or honey, those are mommy's heart pills." And the girl's like, "I don't care. Take me to the mall."
Yeah. I got a note. Some bratty bitch kid telling her mother to buy her things. This kid needs to be killed immediately.
Doing, honey? Those are mommy's heart pills. I need those.
You need to take me to the mall.
But I thought we'd go to church tonight.
Fuck church. I want my new LV today.
Why don't you wait until tomorrow and see what Santa brings you?
Do I look like I believe in Santa Claus? Go get your purse and meet me in the car.
And as if the filmmakers heard your prayer and mine, I wrote down the same thing. I said, then as if hearing my mental prayers, the film sends the killer Santa from the film's opening to the bratty girl's house. He proceeds to taser her before stabbing her with a poker.
And this is a kid. Like this
is a kid.
This isn't like, you know, a 17-year-old kid. No, this is a kid, like maybe 11, 12. Like at
yes.
most. Yeah.
Fuck that brat.
Number
Fuck that
two.
annoying little girl. That was awesome. So children are not, I know you're going to love, I knew it. I was like, Mark's going to love this. The kid just dies. Anytime they just
Screw
kill
you.
children.
Yep.
Your children aren't safe.
Get out of here.
With this man on the block. I want to make that clear. Yeah. Aubrey then goes to the local church to grieve a bit, where the father makes like an aggressive, like sexual pass at her.
He like sort of grabs her shoulder and is like, you know, I know you're alone at Christmas right now.
If you need some extra counseling,
yeah,
just he creeps on her a bit, right? She gets weirded out and then she leaves. She heads into work at the small town police station, where we meet a few of her coworkers, including the pretty female dispatcher and another deputy who's kind of a little bit more inept at his job. They kind of shit on him a little bit.
Yeah.
Later, Aubrey responds to a call to the station complaining about a local Santa, and we meet Santa Jim, played by...
I know I recognize him, but I don't think I've seen what he's been in.
He's been in tons of shit.
Yeah.
Donald Logue is the actor's name. Donald Logue. He's probably... You might know him best as one of the henchmen in Blade. He's in the first Blade
the original
movie.
Blade movie?
Yeah.
I would not have.
He's not the Stephen Dorff character. He's like, I think he's his like number 2 guy.
Now that you say that, obviously like a much younger version of this guy, but that does.
He's also. Did you ever watch Gotham, the TV show? He's Bullock.
No, but he's the He's
Bullock.
That's where I recognize him.
He's
from.
Benjamin McKenzie, Jim Gordon's like right hand guy.
Yeah.
He's Detective Bullock. Yeah, Donald Logue's a good actor. He's in all kinds of shit.
I like him in this.
He's a good character actor. Yep. Yeah, he's solid. Yeah, Santa Jim. He's got like this whole stall set up on the sidewalk. Where it's like this whole, it's what you would see in a mall.
Yeah, I was gonna say, think of a mall Santa, but if you transplanted it to the side of the road.
As like a busker.
Yeah.
And so there's got a line of parents.
Just down the sidewalk.
But he's like being weird. He's acting weird with the kids. He's like giving them like life advice and talking about how like stupid Christmas is and capitalism.
Like he's doing this voluntarily, but he kind of hates it at the same time. Like he doesn't want to do this. He's very jaded in whatever he's doing. And you can sense this immediately when Deputy Bradamore tries to talk to him, right?
I'm Santa Claus.
You go by any other names?
Yeah, sure. In Easter, I'm the Easter Bunny. Halloween, I'm Halloweener. An Irish Jewish ghost. Days between, I'm Jim Epstein.
And can I call you Jim Epstein?
Well, you could if you want to ruin the childhoods of all those cute little brats waiting in line looking for reassurance that they're going to have lots and lots of toys under the tree come tomorrow.
Oh, cynical Santa. Cute.
Ooh, you're good. I'm going to have to keep an eye on you.
You're not from around here, are you?
No, I'm from up north, small town, North Pole, actually.
So then Aubrey asks to see his permit, and he hands her this journal where we see all these kind of weird things in it. Yeah. It's like a manifesto.
It's like that's the last thing you want to hand to a cop who's suspecting you might be out of place.
Xmas sucks, and like all these like mad scribbles. It reminded me of like, do you remember in American Psycho when like Patrick Bateman's assistant like finds the journal and it's got like this horrific scribblings in it, like scribblings of a madman. That's what it reminded me of.
Like the journals from Seven, but not quite as intense.
Not that intense, but it's still like, this is fucking off-putting. Yeah. But before Aubrey can do anything about it, she gets called away on another urgent matter. And she gets called to the now crime scene from the opening of the film where the two victims were killed. Yep. And they are now rotting corpses in this abandoned house. And Malcolm McDowell shows up out of nowhere, a.k.a. Sheriff Cooper. So he shows up to the bloody crime scene and is like, maybe you should go home. You're not equipped to handle this. So he tries to get rid of her.
Yeah,
because
it's a little bit strange.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is like, I guess a big thing in this movie, a big theme is like her feeling that she can't live up to her father's
She's like
footsteps.
Inadequate as far as a
police officer. So she feels like she's got imposter syndrome. Like she doesn't deserve the job. She can't, because I guess her father was like a retired police chief. That's the friendly old man. Very good at it. And he was very good at, very respected in the community. So she's basically like in the shadow of him. They don't fully flesh this out right. The movie's very clunky.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a little bit of character development that, these movies sometimes sorely lack. Right? It's the kind of thing that would put a movie like this at like the number 2 spot. For example,
Ricky gets, Joe Petto was torn up about his dead pregnant wife. Okay. That would make anyone go nuts and make killer toys.
Killer toys.
That's how that works. Yeah. I mean, you don't even need that inspiration, Mark. You already want to kill the children on the block, apparently.
All the children. Every one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All of them. Yeah. So it's now up to Aubrey and the weirdly amped up sheriff to find the killer on the loose in the small town on Christmas Eve. And like, for some reason, Sheriff Cooper's like, he's almost like excited.
You realize with Calumet Road closed that we're just completely on our own.
Good. No state troopers, no FBI, no CSI Miami. This is payback time for those parking violations and stray cats up trees. And I'll tell you another thing. This sick fuck is gonna wish he never set foot in my town.
It's like,
why he's overzealous at the opportunity.
It's like, you just found a woman's head, like decapitated head. Like, aren't you a little bit more like, oh, this is serious and I need to act accordingly? It's like, no, but that goes into his character and we'll get to that. Aubrey then has a throwaway line, which made me roll my eyes. She mentions that the main road into town is closed, so they're cut off from state trooper and FBI support. How convenient.
Yeah. Well, and you'll remember like the mayor part of his motivation is he's trying to win support so he can get another road into town built. Like that's really his.
This is so stupid.
It's great.
It's like
it's real down.
Oh right, yeah. The one there's no way they can't. The cops, they're trapped. That's
Correct.
it. Yeah,
Yes.
that's it. They build communities that there's only one way in and out of. That's it. It's a death town.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make those.
Our
They make
town's like
death
that.
towns.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it?
There's only one way.
There's
in
only
and out.
one way in and out. Yeah, there's only one way in every single direction.
Right.
Yeah. That's how that works. Oh yeah, they could never call in a state troopers because it's not like they could fly in because police don't use helicopters, eh? No, they don't use that.
Nope.
No, not real cops.
One road, buddy.
Yeah, one road, right? Road, yeah, which is apparently is blocked. So how is the town getting? There's so much logistical issues with that stupid statement of like the only road into town is blocked. What are we gonna do, sheriff? It's like the only road's blocked in. So how are you getting supplies? Is all the food gonna run out? Like, there's all kinds of problems. What if are you telling me everyone in the town works in the town too? What if you have a job outside the town? You know what I mean? I have a store that is an hour outside of my town. So you telling me I just can't go to work? That's it.
Well, you got snowed out last week.
Right.
You're like, yes. You didn't make it, did you?
Right.
You got stuck for 5 hours.
Right. I did get snowed out because the one road I wanted to use, I wasn't able to access. But there's multiple other roads that I could have used. Right.
I think it's funny that this seems preposterous, but the idea that Joe Petto creates a Robo Boy and his own killer toys to go and just terrorize the neighborhood. That's fine, right?
Well, somebody has to.
But the idea that a road might be closed.
I don't
Nick.
I don't discount the idea that somebody given them time and right motivation could build their own robot.
In a movie that is supposed to be
that.
serious like this, the idea of a road closure doesn't really make sense. In a movie like Part 5.
Right, that's what I mean.
Where it's just goofy.
It does fit out.
Yeah.
In a stupider movie, there's
That would
other
be-
stupid shit though. Well, let's get to
yeah.
it. So what follows is a race against time as the local town police desperately search for the Santa Claus killer on the loose, who's going around picking off random naughty townsfolk in brutal killings, all of which takes place on the same night of the town's annual Santa Claus parade and festivities.
Yep.
That is the plot of Silent Night. Notice it didn't take me long to go through that plot. 'Cause
Yeah,
there's just not much plot here.
You kind of gloss over the details of the plot, but I understand why.
I gave you the broad strokes because there's just not much else here.
Yeah.
So, why don't you take the lead, Mark? Kick us off. What do you want to talk about?
How about we start with our character Aubrey? What do you think? I thought she was decent. I thought like I could tell why she was motivated.
She's all right.
I
I don't know. She's okay.
I don't know if I would put her up to like Fiona Dourif level, but
I don't think the actress did a bad job.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's a very well-written film, so I don't think it's paced. I don't think you get a lot of character development there. Because I think it's a bit of a clunky movie.
Yeah.
It's competent.
Yeah.
This is a very competent film. If I had to rank this out of 10, it's like a solid 6 out of 10. It's like they made a film. It's very competent.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It's very easy to follow, but it doesn't make it nothing. There's nothing in here that really elevates it for me.
Yeah.
It just feels like a very...
There's one aspect of this movie that sets it above all of the others.
Yes.
What do you think that is?
The gore.
Absolutely.
This is,
movie.
without a doubt, the most brutal and gory the series has ever been.
It might be one of the most goriest slasher movies that
I knew you were gonna love this, and I love it too. Yeah. I'm not shitting on this at all. This is actually one of the few. This is partly why it's it's higher up. It's not super low for me. I have it a 4.
Yeah,
I mean it's not.
They don't pull their punches with the kills. In this one. Yeah.
The kills are
heinous. There's no cutaways. There's no.
No. Like they set this. The tone is set immediately. I mean, the first kill, that guy getting electrocuted, is pretty brutal. It's played serious. It's not goofy. You know, he doesn't do like a comedic like and it's like it goes cross-eyed. Like, no. It's not the electrocution scene from part 2.
Yeah, like we've seen this scene
where the eye bursts and it's like nonsense.
Yep.
No, this is like it's played straight.
Yep.
The Santa Claus. Let's go through some of the kills. Santa Claus. He walks in on a porno shoot at a motel and kills them with a sickle.
Yeah, a scythe, like right in
That's
the...
awesome.
Yeah.
The scythe is a cool fucking...
Yeah.
That's cool. Now you got me, because now you're getting into Santa Claus type stuff. That's awesome. Like, you're getting into Christmas holiday kills. That's fun. That's a scythe feels kind of like an old-timey axe. It just feels, it thematically fits.
Yeah.
You know? So that's brutal. The one guy, he scythes him straight into the balls.
Yep.
And he hits him so hard it causes him to bleed from the mouth. Because that's how that works. It's connected. This is a trope in movies that needs to stop. They need to stop this.
Yeah.
They need to stop. Not everything done to the human body makes you bleed from the mouth.
Right.
But according to movie logic, anywhere you get stabbed, well, this is the hole that the blood comes
It's
out.
like if you want to show intensity, you got to have some blood coming out from the sides of the mouth.
The mouth, the
Yeah.
mouth is where the body is ejecting. They're showing you the pain. Yeah. So they got to stop with this fucking trope. The wood chipper death. Holy fuck. So after he breaks up the porno shoot, he like chases the one porno girl who's running around, I think with her tits out, which kudos to
the
that
whole
actress for doing that.
Yep.
And then like there's a wood chipper, and I'll give them it's Christmas adjacent. Because
it's a Christmas tree lot.
Because it's a Christmas tree lot. So I'm like, okay, they'd have to... the wood chipper would be there. Yeah. That's not that much of a stretch of imagination. He chases her onto like a Christmas tree lot, and then he throws her in the fucking wood chipper.
Yeah, I mean, that whole scene is just incredible for a couple of reasons. First of all, you think she's going to get away because he kind of captures her. She runs into the bathroom after Santa Claus killer comes into the hotel room, the motel room. She jumps out the window, lands into bags of trash down on the ground, and then she gets away. She goes into the Christmas tree lot, and you think that that's it for her. Right? She's going to get away. No, he continues to pursue her. He chops one of her legs off. You forgot about that. He tosses that into the wood chipper first.
Oh right, I forgot.
Right,
about
then
that.
he picks her up on his shoulder. But the real piece de resistance
it's
for
her
this
slowly getting pushed in.
He puts her in, and normally when you see wood chipper scenes, that's it, right? It's like a one-time thing. No, she's being wood chippered while she's alive, standing there being forced. Oh my God. It's what you expect this scene to be, but you rarely get it.
It's not quick.
They linger on her like being ground up while she's still very much alive and
if you're gonna take anything away from this movie, it's the extreme graphic gore kills in this are so different than the other movies. None of these other movies,
nothing like
they're nothing like these other movies.
Yeah, even the ones like
they're
in part
brutal.
Yeah.
Even the ones in part 1 and 2, they feel very filmic.
Yeah, like
so you
the
can
box
kinda
cutter.
Yeah, you can kind of remove yourself a little bit. This is like stark realism and like hype. This is hyper violence.
Yeah.
This is next level, and it's glorious.
The,
I am like a gore hound. I do like this shit. So like, I'm a sick fuck. So I liked this stuff. It was
That's why we're here.
There were great kills.
The boyfriend.
There's like the stoner boyfriend.
Yeah.
And it's the mayor's daughter that she's like, it's like this.
She's a slut.
She's like the slutty girl.
She was at the porno, like she was already in there, and she's actually exiting the porno shoot.
Yeah. So she had actually already done some softcore stuff.
Yeah.
She did like a photo shoot or something, or she did like nudes.
Yeah.
And her and her stoner boyfriend are like getting busy, and the Santa Claus Santa Claus killer shows up, and he disposes of the girlfriend, and then goes after the stoner boyfriend and fucks him up quite a bit. And then we get this shot of him like on the ground being like, oh, looking straight up. Killer Santa grabs this axe. It's the same. They go back to this fucking style axe. Great callback to the original films. He takes his time, aims the fucking axe. and cuts the kid's fucking head in half.
And you see it. Like there's no pullaways. You probably can't even show the clip. Like I don't know what.
I'm gonna show it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna show it, and if it gets banned, it gets banned. Like,
Yeah.
Well, if it gets banned,
imagine a kid's head
I'm gonna
literally
show
getting
it.
split in half.
It shows like a kid's head gets split in half. I'm gonna show the clip, and if it gets flagged, then I will just re-upload it with that part blurred out.
Yeah.
But I think I don't want to pull punches.
I
on
hope
this
you
show.
get to see it.
I don't want to pull punches on this show. I want you to see the gore. If you are watching it, you should get the benefit of us showing you the kills. If YouTube wants to puss out, that's on them because I'm just showing you what's in these films. They're not snuff.
Decent,
it's not real.
Decent callback to this one because the girlfriend, another nice rack kill. The slams.
Do you want
her.
to get into the references that?
Oh yeah,
So
sure.
there's a whole list of them. So we've got references to the other films in the series. I don't know if you caught some of these, but the teenager getting killed with the poker. It's a callback to Silent Night 5. The father getting killed with the poker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize that one, but
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
The stoner boyfriend, his first introduction scene is him visiting his senile grandfather. And for some reason they chose, because I always thought this was one of the dumber scenes from the original movie, they chose to redo this scene of the grandfather being like, "You better watch out, boy. Christmas Eve is the scariest night of the year."
Yeah.
You chose to bring that back?
After he steals money out of his wallet.
It's a bizarre choice. We have the mayor getting strangled by Christmas lights, which they do in
Like
multiple
every movie
entries.
seems to have one of those,
Such a simple one. The antler kill. So Santa disposes of the mayor's daughter by they redo the Linnea Quigley death and get her impaled on another deer, on antlers, on another deer head on the wall.
I tried to remember, does the kill in part 1 have the horns actually come through
The
her
tits?
skin?
No.
In this one they definitely do.
I thought you said like through her tits.
No, they don't come through there. But like in the 2012 edition, the
you see
horns
it come through.
through.
Yeah, you see it through. I'm pretty sure they do in the original too.
both,
though.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure they do them both. I mean, you kind of have to, right?
Yeah.
It's not like the hooks in Texas Chainsaw where you just see the guy go thunk.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's not like the coat hanger or the coat hook in Freddy's Nightmares where they slam the head against the, remember?
From that stupid episode of Family Affair.
Where nothing comes out the front.
Yeah.
Yep.
At one point, you had to have caught this. Deputy Giles, that's the kind of inept guy. He's taking the garbage out.
Oh.
The best reference.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. The best reference.
It was a little too obvious.
I know.
I just wish they were a bit more
There
subtle.
was, I know. It's a stupid. I agree with you. It's a dumb way of calling it back, but he gets told, he's like, go take out the trash. And then he's like taking, the guy's like taking the garbage out and he's like, what is this, garbage day?
Yeah.
Go home. Hey, and take the trash while you're at it.
What is this? Garbage day?
There's other ways. There's more in this movie than just that, But no,
You're gonna come to rue that line. You're gonna rue that line.
All that movie is apparently just that.
Yep.
Also, the film takes place in. Did you catch this?
I didn't catch the location.
They only showed the last fucking shot of the film. Cryer, Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
Which is a reference to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is where the protests for the film were centered in.
Ah, good for them.
Clever little fuck you to the old to the protesters from the first film. But I want to go back quite a bit now when we talk about this. I have a lot that I want to bring up. How do you feel this works as a remake?
It really doesn't.
Oh, so so actually I disagree. I think it works well as a remake.
I mean, there's really nothing that ties it to the original. Like, there's no, if you're gonna do a remake,
Yeah, but it doesn't need to be. Well, we've had this debate many times. Yeah,
so
because
then-
I like the Child's Play remake.
right?
It
But
does
like
its own thing.
you can only, if you just go completely away from the original, then you're not doing anything tied to it.
But how does it go away from the original? The original is
There's
just a
no
guide.
Ricky. There's no.
Yeah, but there is. There is. Yes, there is. You just don't like how they reveal him, but yes, there is.
Yeah.
Don't give that away yet. I want to get to that plot point. But no, the plot, what is the original? What are the Silent Night Deadly Nights? It's a jackass running around dressed like Santa Claus, killing random people for very little motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is this movie? A jackass dressed as Santa Claus running around killing random people for very little motivation.
Yeah.
It's the same basic plot, dude. And you even have the
Where's the orphanage, Justin?
yeah, like they don't need to do everything. That's exactly it. Yeah, it's like I think in this case, I understand with the Child's Play one why you said they went too far away.
Yeah.
I don't think they
No,
there's
but-
not much to go off of.
Exactly,
though.
right?
So like
there's not a whole lot that you need to include. So if you don't even include that, then what have you
no,
done?
but what
right?
did but that's what I'm saying. What did they miss? They have a guy running around as Santa killing people. There's not much else you need.
I don't know. Where's the kid that sees his parents get
Well, he's
gutted
there.
alive,
He's there.
you know?
They show it at the end, but he's there. He is there. They have that
Not
character.
His, not
They
his
just present.
parents. Well, I mean, I guess.
Yes, he does. Yeah, it's both his parents. Yes, it is. So I wrote down, I think, because I'm not someone for remakes. I think remakes are mostly pointless. This is actually not a terrible idea to remake. Silent Night, Deadly Night, there was room to remake stuff there. I don't think that was a terrible choice. It's a pretty hollow, basic slasher film. You could update
obviously,
that.
I don't dislike it. I had it as number 2. But
Yeah.
like if you sat somebody down and showed them this one and then showed them this one, I don't think that they would be able to tell that one was a derivative of the other.
Yeah.
Like they would be like, oh, you just showed me 2 loosely based Christmas horror movies at the same time, but they're not. They don't have anything to do with each other.
I disagree. I think you'd get this Killer Santa guy. I love the updated Killer Santa look. Is awesome.
They're part of his. You called it the
superhero suit.
Superhero suit. He kind of makes his own sort of
Santa mask.
Yeah.
So Ricky, all the other Santa Clauses, it's just them looking like me, like
Yeah.
wearing like it's a shitty looking Santa Claus. He has this like full Santa outfit with this creepy plastic mask.
that he kind of makes from something else. I think like
That mask is fucking
It works.
awesome
It works.
looking. It's such a cool visual. They turned him, and as much as I hate the fucking Rob Zombie Halloween films, they took that Killer Santa and made him into like a brutish force of nature.
Yeah.
This is the most intense, brutal this character type has ever been.
Yeah.
You're not getting wisecracking Eric Freeman with his shit-eating grin, like quipping one-lines. It's like, this guy doesn't talk. It's just like a Michael Myers going around brutally fucking slicing people and putting them into fucking wood chippers. There's no remorse.
one-liners. Or
No. It's a reinvented Santa Claus.
Yeah.
The fucking shot with the Santa holding the flamethrower is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like there's it's a great redesign. This is also the most polished the series has ever looked.
Yeah.
It's a very slick looking movie. The cinematography is actually pretty good. It's just got a clean look to it.
Yep.
It doesn't look like a low budget 80s camp like horror film.
Yeah. I mean,
It's a modern.
It has that look of like
Yeah.
the reimagined Halloween, the reimagined Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like where everything's just a little too pretty, but very, obviously the cinematography, the film quality is better as well. Like it's a better looking movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to gush about? I'm surprised you don't. I feel like I'm gushing more than you're
Yeah,
gushing
I mean, I'm
now,
just going to
but-
let you
Yeah.
sit here and convince
Well, okay,
yourself.
well, so I have some complaints
Yep.
now. Malcolm McDowell's character is just kind of pointless.
Yeah, we already kind of hit this, but we can sort of hit it again. That
he's so generic.
yeah,
He's just playing that archetype he's already played before.
and stop. I don't understand the idea of jerk characters being jerks for no reason.
Well, he's just like, okay, so he's playing like the grizzled know-it-all sheriff, but it doesn't make us like you. It just makes us resent you. And I guess that's the point, but then that becomes unfun to watch at a certain point.
Yeah.
Like the entire movie, he's just constantly lecturing Aubrey and putting her down. And he's like constantly like, his character is just goofy. It comes across as like he's a moron. They hint that he's pretty inept at his job, and Aubrey's the actual only good cop at the station, right? Because all he does is just like chastise his deputies and then like spout out like platitudes and little lessons that are just nothing statements. Like he's like, don't put avocado on the burger. Simple is always best.
Don't put avocado on the burger.
What?
Simple is always best. Carson's here. Close. I can smell it. The smell of fear.
I don't smell it.
No, well, that's because you're not attuned. crime fighter's senses switch to something almost primeval. From when we hunted cave bears and dinosaurs. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing, hiding in plain sight.
What are you? What is this character? You're just acting like an idiot. Like, I get it was supposed to be endearing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. It didn't come across that way.
Don't you? It feels like they were trying to make him like quirky and like just give him something, but it goes against the tone of the film, which is more serious.
Yeah.
You got a character that doesn't really work, and I don't know.
Maybe they were trying to use it as a counterpoint to Aubrey's character, right? Like, look what she has to deal with. Look what she's got to overcome. I don't know. Again, it reminded. I have a note here because there was a moment there where I forgot that he was. I can't believe it. I started watching it. It just didn't immediately click to me that he was Dr. Loomis in the Halloween movie. And I'm like,
he's playing the same fucking character.
He's like, this guy reminds me of the guy that played Dr. Loomis in Halloween. I'm like, oh shit, it's the same guy. Because it's literally the same character.
Right.
Like they just took
but
him
when you're playing Loomis, it works because Loomis doesn't work for the police force. Loomis is this other mysterious guy who is like giving you these foreboding, like statements about like, there's nothing behind those eyes, the darkest eyes. So it's like that works. But then when he's the police sheriff, it's like he's still talking like that, and it just comes across as stupid.
The only thing I could think of as I was watching it, and at the end when I kind of looked back on it, that the only reason why I could think of that he was trying, because there's a number of moments where he says to like Aubrey, like, no, you don't go to this one. I'll go. You can't stomach. You're not gonna be able to handle this, right?
Right.
I'm like, maybe that's a clue that Sheriff Cooper is actually the killer, right? He doesn't want anyone else to join him when he goes to investigate these crimes, right? And I'm like, is that what they're trying to get at? That he's just trying to get, go to these locations by himself, or he's trying to keep her away? I don't know. I mean, obviously, the ending will reveal that that's not the case, right? When we're ready to talk about it, I have one critical gripe about this movie. That there was one thing that just I can't stand.
I have one. Yeah. This is my biggest problem with the film. So I'm going to compare it to another holiday slasher film, which a newer one that I thoroughly enjoy and I highly recommend, Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I got to watch this.
Thanksgiving is excellent.
Yep.
Maybe we'll do an episode on holiday themed horror films, ones that didn't get franchises but are still solid on their own, and maybe like some different ones, right? Thanksgiving's great. Thanksgiving has the same basic premise. It's just a holiday themed killer going around in a small town killing people. The difference is who we follow.
Yeah.
This film decided, like part 1 and part 2, dumb decisions. We're gonna follow the killer. The problem with that is you can't root for the killer.
Can't sympathize with him.
You're not supposed to, right? Yeah. So who do you need? Well, you got to follow somebody else. So this one's like, we're going to follow the cops. But the cops kind of suck.
Yeah.
They're not interesting characters. Thanksgiving, on the other hand, and most slasher films, who do we follow?
You've got some sort of final girl that you're kind of
right,
going
but we
through,
also so and it's a group of teenagers. Yeah. We follow a group of kids. Where are they in this movie?
Yeah.
They're missing. And that's a huge formula element you are missing. You need the group of kids that are supposed to be like isn't this weird? Look at all this shit going on. And you don't have that. Normally what happens in this type of movie is you get those kids and then the cops show up randomly. Sporadically, the cops will show up and be like, hey, you kids, you guys be careful. And then in the third act, they come and try to save the day. And you don't usually just follow the police characters.
I think the difference, though, is that in this movie, it's not presented like a traditional slasher. No. This, to me, felt more like a whodunit. You are trying to guess.
I'm alluding to that. Yeah. I'm alluding to that. Yeah.
So they present you with a number of, prototypical male characters that could be the killer. And as you go through the movie, they sort of knock those characters off one by one, right? The only person that you could be absolutely sure is not the killer is Aubrey. So that's why she kind of becomes the central, character that we follow, because she's the only one that we can stick with long enough to not automatically reveal that she's not the killer, right? Or that right? So like at any point, it could have been Santa Jim or whatever his name is.
Allow me to go through the roll call here. I have it all written down. So the whole, they make a decision of this Santa, they're going to keep his identity secret.
Yep.
And the other ones, we know exactly who it is because we've already seen their origin story, right? But in this one, we don't actually know who it is.
That's like integral to the story.
And
like
that's kind of okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. It's like, all right, I see you. You're trying something different here.
Mystery.
We're gonna do a mystery. It's a murder mystery. So we got possible answers to the question. We've got, is it weird ass Santa Jim? I mean, he seemingly didn't like Christmas. He was very bitter, didn't like his job.
He didn't like Aubrey when they first started. Yeah.
No, it's not him. Is it the pervy reverend? I mean, why not? He was acting like a weirdo.
Yep.
Maybe he has some weird psychological thing where he's also punishing people for fornicating. Nope.
He gets his fingers cut off and then gored like
not him. He gets killed pretty brutally.
Yep.
Is it the somewhat inept Deputy Giles who could be acting all along? I was actually wondering. I'm like, maybe they're doing this thing like Kaiser Sose. Like,
or like another slasher franchise that you don't want to do where, the killer turns out to be like, the weenie guy that nobody suspects.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know what franchise you're referring to.
Yeah.
So could it be Deputy Giles? Wrong again.
Sheriff Cooper, right? Yeah.
Is it Sheriff Cooper? Because why not? I thought of that as well. I was like, that makes no sense, but sure, why not? Nope, not him either.
I even thought, is it her father?
No, there was a moment I thought that was possible too. Well, then surely it has to be bitter old man Carson, who was the head of the sawmill. Like they said it was a sawmill or something mill.
Yeah.
Is the head of the mill that closed down, and he basically now hates the entire town, and he's kind of stuck there. I mean, that would make the most sense,
he's
right?
already involved in some shady shit to begin with.
Yeah.
Right? So
that would definitely make the most sense, right?
Is it the mayor?
No.
Who's maybe offing people that are getting in the way of his campaign? I don't know.
Right.
Nope.
Nope. And going back to Carson, so like they're setting this up so hard that it's like, oh, it's Carson. Carson's the guy who did it.
Which means that it's not him.
Right.
Like, yeah.
So then Aubrey, like there's this scene where Aubrey goes to confront him and he's acting crazy and he like aims a gun at her.
Yep.
Why did he do that?
Turn around now! Show me your hands. Show me your hands, Carson!
Don't make me laugh. We both know you don't have it in you.
That's gonna get you, I guess.
And then she kills him. And then she kills him.
You don't have the stones to
kill me.
to do it. Yeah.
Right. But I have the stones to kill you.
Somehow the whole town seems to think that Deputy Bradamore does not have what it takes to be a police officer. I don't know. She seems like she's pretty swept up to me. So
I thought it's so weird where he's like, why is he aiming a gun at her? Why does he run from her in the first place? Why is he acting suspicious?
He hasn't done anything
right.
wrong. Yeah.
And then he just gets himself killed by doing a suicide by cop.
Yep.
Why?
Yeah.
Like they never explain this. It's so fucking dumb where it's like, what was the point of that? So who is it?
Yep.
Well, Aubrey confronts the killer. We have this like awesome final showdown scene where like the Santa Claus killer storms into the police station and starts killing people. He's got the fucking flamethrower, and Aubrey ends up getting the flamethrower and torching him with the flamethrower, and his mask comes off, revealing Mickey fucking Rooney. Mickey Rooney returns, and he is the killer. Can you believe that they had the balls to bring back Mickey Rooney all these years later, and he has not missed a beat?
Do we want to just continue on as though it actually was him and see if anybody questions this whatsoever?
No one's going to watch this movie.
No one's going to get this
I just
far.
edit it so that it works. It's not Mickey Rooney. No, it cuts to some random guy, and you're like,
oh,
well, who's that?
Yeah.
Well, who the fuck is that guy?
This is the criticism that I have.
Yeah, there's a throwaway thing. It was like Old Man Carson, when Aubrey first goes to talk to him at the bar, he gives like some weird like local legend about like
have you heard the tale of, you know, the guy that you know, his
he caught his wife cheating.
Yeah.
And he took umbrage with it, and then he followed her to a Christmas party dressed up as Santa with a flamethrower while his son was in the car watching.
Yeah.
And then he flamethrowers his mother alive. And then the cops come and they shoot him, and then he bursts into fire and dies. And it's like this local legend. And at first when he tells it, I was like, okay, I don't like, sure.
It's meant to sound like bullshit. Right? Like,
Right.
You know, oh yeah, we've all heard this story.
But no, that actually did happen, and our killer is someone who we never met at any point in the movie.
I can't stand movies.
Was there even a single scene with him?
No.
No.
Not
that's
that
what
I
thought.
can remember.
I can't remember a single, like, not even a clever shot of him in the background or anything.
Like the whole idea behind a twist like that is you should be able to then go back and watch the movie and then see the little things that always obviously pointed at, you know, the perpetrator, the killer. There's none of that, because other than that sort of crazy man story from Old Man Carlson, there's no reference to this character whatsoever, right? So yeah, the ending is disappointing, but you know, that's the biggest criticism I have. Why?
Who is this? Who are you?
Why set up this murder mystery to just not have it be somebody? Like we're trying to figure it out. Like that's the game that we're playing with the movie.
Nothing.
And then it's
so that
nobody.
it doesn't reward you for a rewatch, because there's nothing that would have revealed that other than maybe Carson's story. But even then, you didn't know that guy.
You start to get to the end, you're like, there's nobody left.
Yeah,
like, who
I know.
is this going to
Who
be?
are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's nobody apparently. Yeah. So
it would have made just as much sense if Aubrey was under that mask, even though that makes absolutely no sense either. But it's like, it could have been anybody at that point, and that's a problem. That is it's a shitty, stupid mystery. So they fucked the mystery up. Like, people criticize Friday Part 5 for the Roy Burns, where people are like, oh, what? That comes out of nowhere. It doesn't really. When you rewatch that movie, it's like, yeah, it's thin, but they show you
at least
two scenes with Roy Burns before that, one of which he's like menacingly looking at the camera.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not completely out of nowhere. You forgot about that guy. Yeah. You forgot that guy was in the movie.
You might have thought it was a strange overreaction at the time.
Right.
Right. But
upon rewatch, you're like, oh yeah, you son of a bitch. But there's no scene with this guy even in the movie.
Yeah, Roy Burns is at least in the movie.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So when you go back and rewatch it, he's in the movie in two scenes, both of which he's acting a little weird. Yeah. So it's not that insane. This is like, there's not even a scene with this dude. There's nothing. Like, it's stupid. But you know why there can't be a scene with him? Because he's got like Freddy Krueger level burns on half his face. So it's like, oh no, I guess never mind. Because that happened at the end. Never mind.
Yeah.
Well, it's still stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than
then that actually makes no sense. So then why not just have him in a scene? Because we didn't know like what he looked like anyways. It's not like we would have recognized him from that story where he was a little boy. It's stupid. Yeah. That's why it's number 4, folks. That's why it's number 4.